Yankees, of course, made quick work. 3 and done over the Texas Rangers for the second straight year. And there's strike one on the outside corner to Mike Stanley. Bobby told you earlier, Stanley 3 hits against Bartolo Colon in game 1. 8 for 19 against him lifetime with a pair of home runs.
That's not really surprising. Mike Stanley has always been a very good fastball hitter, especially fastballs down in the strike zone.
1-1 pitch on the outside edge.
But Colon has thrown a couple of unhittable fastballs right here. Bottom of the kneecaps, edge of the black, right on that outside corner. Now with 2 strikes, Stanley will have to be a little more defensive.
Colon had 1 strikeout in the first inning. He overthrew that one. It appeared he lost his footing a little bit. If you weren't with us earlier, it has rained. Not a steady rain, not a pouring rain, I should say. It has been a steady drizzle starting very early this morning throughout the entire day, and it stopped only about an hour before game time. Shot into right center field, a base hit. Lofton over to cut it off, and Stanley begins things in the Boston second with a single. And the Indians are very worried as it's strike one to Jason Varitek about the future of Dave Burba. He looked so good through 4 innings yesterday, allowing only 1 hit, but had to leave the game with tightness under the right forearm. And Mike Hargrove point blank before the game, we'll just wait and see. But right now he's very much day by day. Of course, Hargrove won't drift into areas that, if you make the championship series, he said, hey, we got business to take care of here first. We'll worry about Burba in the next round if we make it.
That really was unfortunate for Dave Burba. He was pitching such a fine ball game last night. When I talked to him down in the clubhouse today, I said, so you're day to day? And he said, I hope so.
One and one on Jason Varitek. Bouncing ball, and it's into right field. A base hit. Stanley will make the turn. He's coming to third. And here comes the throw, not in time. Heads up base running from Mike Stanley. Not the fastest guy in the world, Bobby, but taking advantage of Ramirez slow to get to the ball on the wet grass. Bottom of the second inning. Runners on the corners and nobody out for Darren Lewis. He knocked in the first Boston run yesterday with a single in the 5th inning. Strike one.
Talked about Lewis in the ballgame last night. Very much an opposite field hitter. Kenny Lofton shading a few steps over into right center. Manny Ramirez playing shallow in right field. To Lewis, and it missed outside and low to even the count. Same kind of story when we asked Jimmy Williams about the availability of Pedro Martinez should there be a game 5. He said, don't ask me about that. Don't want to talk anything about it. We'll worry about it if there is a game 5. 2-1 as Lewis hits a deck. I'm not sure if this pitch was by design or if it's just another fastball that got away from Colon, but little chin music to Darren Lewis right there. So do a limbo in that batter's box to get underneath that fastball.
There is some bad blood between these two ball clubs. 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. And it's only the second inning, but clearly early on, Bartolo Colon is not the same pitcher tonight that the Indians saw in game 1. Runners on the corners. Go ahead runners at third base. 3 balls and a strike to Darren Lewis. Slapped it foul. Lewis lucky to get a bat on that pitch. run in the top of the first. Boston a 2-run home run from Valentin in the bottom of the inning. The Indians tied the game in the second. And now the Red Sox are banging on the door. 3-2 pitch. On the ground, base hit. Boston in front, 3-2. Varitek advances on to second, and Darren Lewis for a second straight game. A run batted in. Strike called as he showed bunt.
Phil Regan close by. Manager Mike Hargrove over there in that Indians dugout. As you mentioned, Tom, some bodies starting to move around, just getting loose. Nobody warming up at this point. Todd Nixon showing bunt on that first pitch. He's put down 2 sacrifices on the season. He was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Colon in game 1.
No sign of a bunt this time, and he's behind 0-2. Nixon, a .221 hitter with runners in scoring position this season. He has 2 on with nobody out. Fly ball, well hit, straight away, center field, loft in at the wall, and he won't get it. The runners right behind one another. Varitek, Lewis on his heels, both will score. Carsey beginning to get loose in the Cleveland bullpen. The Red Sox have as many hits in the first inning plus against Colon as they had in 8 innings against him in game 1. Fly ball into deep left field. Sexton looks up. Goodbye. Boston in front 7-2. Nobody out in the second, and Steve Carsey takes over on the mound for Cleveland. Valentin, a 2-run home run his first time up. He hits a missile into left center. It falls in for a hit. 6 consecutive hits to begin the Red Sox second inning.
This is about the time Phil Regan, the pitching coach, says, for crying out loud, walk somebody. Man, the Red Sox are just doing a cha-cha up to that batter's box right in time with every pitch that the Indians pitchers are delivering. Boy, Colon pitching on 3 days rest for the first time. Got hammered by the Red Sox in this ball game.
Now Brian Daubach shows bunt, and he takes a strike. Daubach might be the only batter in the Boston lineup that's happy to see Colon go on this night. On the inside corner, strike. Carsey, a godsend to this Cleveland team this year. He had an outstanding season.
Yeah, he really did, Tommy. Filled in that rotation when they had some injuries. It's been a couple of stints on the disabled list, most recently from August 25th to September 21st with a strained tendon in his right forearm. It really limits his ability to throw a curveball.
Swing and a miss by Daubach. Second time he has struck out in the ball game, and that's a first out in the Boston second inning after 6 consecutive hits and 5 runs. Well, we brought it up so many times as Garciaparra looks at ball one. He had that little pop fly to shallow right field that Alomar ran down in a slight collision with Manny Ramirez back in the first inning. That one hammered into left center field. Lofton on the run makes a nice catch. And racing back to first base is Valentin. A good sign, and they'll applaud the line drive by Garciaparra.
That ball was hit right on the button with authority. It appeared headed for that gap. Only the tremendous speed of Kenny Lofton out there in center field kept that from being extra bases. I mentioned earlier Jimmy Williams talking about Troy O'Leary. You see he's only hit 165 in the series, but felt that he was the victim of buzzard's luck. That's a very technical baseball term.
Yeah.
And guys are hitting the ball hard but have nothing to show for it.
Well, what does that mean, buzzard's luck?
I'm not sure exactly what it means, but I've heard it many times. I've played my entire career with buzzard's luck.
Oh, 2 on O'Leary. Swing and a miss, but the ball comes all the way into the stands, and O'Leary will reach first base. But he'll take it any way he can get there, the way things have gone for him. So now Stanley, who led off this second inning, will bat for a second time. He singled into right center field against Colon. And now time called at the plate. Boy, Stanley asking for timeout. And clearly Vizquel was standing on the second base bag, the left side of the infield wide open. And Carce was going to deliver the pitch. Out of play, strike one.
Mike Stanley's had an outstanding series, 6 for 11 to this point, a .545 batting average. Mentioned a very good fastball hitter. He generally pulls on the ground and hits the ball to the opposite field in the air. Has tremendous power to all parts of the ballpark.
Still a long way to go in this one. We're only in the second inning. Boston leading 7-2. 2 on, 2 out, and Stanley waits. Ground ball to short. Vizquel will go to second. They get the force play to end the inning. A sore sight through the eyes of Sandy Alomar Jr. on the home run by Offerman. Back after this word from your local